Parillo, I gotta kick this off with the facts. Undefeated pro boxer, 8-0.
Correct.
So that's how you got your start in mixed martial arts and UFC?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as getting involved in more mixed martial arts, we opened up a gym back in '92 called LA Boxing when I was a kid. Sean McCauley, Wade Halverson, Mike Samaza, a few other people. We all opened up a boxing gym down in Costa Mesa. And all those guys outside Mike Samaza was a pure boxer as well, but they were in the no holds bar back then. You know, they were in the, the beginning stages back when Rampage and all these guys were doing it. So I had always kind of been around it as far as getting involved in mixed martial arts, but I was around fighting, wanted to be was a fighter myself, wanted to be the best fighter I can be myself. And, it was something that, ironically enough, as to support myself as a fighter, from the time I was 18 years old till currently today, to support myself was training people, training fighters, training everyday Joe Blows and whatnot. But I became real good friends with a lot of MMA guys during that time, and just had a real organic transfer over and training MMA fighters.
I remember hearing about LA Boxing back in the days when I was training at Fabiano Eha's gym in Huntington Beach.
Yep.
You used to train the McCulley brothers, and Tito used to go over there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he was talking about how good the gym was.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I'm talking about this is over 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Well, we opened, like I said, 92. That's 30 years ago, right? Over 30 years ago, right?
Wow.
But, I remember Fabiano Eha, and who was he fighting? He fought, Clever Luciani. So these two guys are fighting, right? And you remember the chiropractor, like there was Clint Dahl, remember Clint?
Yeah, I remember
Clint, and then there was Sal Gasperi, who was a chiropractor. Two guys that were doing the chiropractic world kind of thing. Yeah. At 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, Sal Gasperi walks in with Kleber. It says, "Hey, this guy's fighting this guy, Fabiano Eha, in 2 weeks. We put him on the hand pads and kind of, help him out a little bit." Sure. Kleber, who I love Kleber. I see, well, Kleber.
Yeah, I met him a few times.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah. He seems like a good dude. I mean, at least we don't know each other.
He was rivals with my coach, so we.
Oh yeah, Fabiano. Fabiano was a great guy, because the story continues. Yeah. Kleber, I put Kleber. I said, okay, try to give him a couple points. What are you really going to do in a 2-week period of time, right? 3-4 hours later, Clint walks in with Fabiano, says, "Hey, this guy's fighting Clever." You know what I mean? Can you show him a few things, whatever? So yeah, I put both of them on the hand pads. I don't know who ended up. Who won that fight? Do you know?
I think Fabiano won by like a uppercut, like a hammer fist.
Oh yeah,
uppercut.
I showed him that. I knew that was a shot that was going to win it.
Man, they hated each other at that time.
Yeah.
It was strange for me because Fabiano is the first Brazilian guy I met, right? And what I learned about those guys, like they really stick together.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, oh,
especially back then.
Back then too.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, oh, 2 Brazilian guys fighting each other. I had never heard of that.
Yeah. It's gang war going on that one. Yeah, but maybe they were competing for the schools too, because everybody started opening up their schools, and I mean they still do today. There's a jiu-jitsu gym on every corner, it feels like, right?
Yeah.
I mean, interesting dynamic back then though, right? Because you guys came up in a world where you guys were pioneering the sport. Like even at the time you were coming up, there wasn't a lot of gyms how there is today, right?
Oh, you talking about here in Orange County? No, it wasn't a whole lot of MMA gyms, really.
Yeah. No, there was no MMA gyms. It was all cardio kickboxing shit. Like, you know what I mean? It was all like, people trying to make money off doing boxing and kickboxing. But you'd have the fighters in there because you'd have to have the fighters come and teach and have the mystique of a guy that gets in the ring or gets in the cage and gets in a fist fight, so the members can come in and go, wow, I'm training around this guy. You know what I mean? And I mean, that still continues today, right?
Yeah, you're right.
But as far as the straight MMA gym.
You're right. I just thought about it. It wasn't, because I had to train my jiu-jitsu at Fabiano's, then go to Punch Out and train Muay Thai with Colin.
Yep.
Well, you had to go to a different gym?
You had to go to different gyms.
They wouldn't come to you guys and all train in one gym?
It was no MMA gyms. He's right.
And and Punch Out was later too. Punch Out came after LA Boxing. I think they turned the LA Boxing Tustin into Punch Out. Because I know Colin and Tyrone Bennett went down and opened it up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Man, you got a good memory.
That's crazy.
All these guys, I grew up, all these guys you know, we were all, because LA Boxing was the nucleus. LA Boxing started. That was a gym that, you know, I helped open up with Sean McCauley and Wade Halverson and Samaza, like I was saying in the beginning. And over the years, you know, Colin came in, worked there. Tyrone was there working there, you know, and there's all these guys. And then they branched out from that. And well, actually, they opened up the LA Boxing Huntington Beach and the LA Boxing Tustin. And there was a falling out amongst the guys trying to build the franchises. I guess I should say they ended up having some embezzling shit going on amongst them. One of my old managers, Jeff Ford, was one of the owners. There was Mike Davis and there was Kerry Crone. And these guys had a business going on and they kind of had a falling out. So then they sold them all separately. They sold Colin and Tyrone, the one in Tustin, which eventually came Punch Out. Trying to think who took the Huntington Beach one. I know Sean McCauley, who was the original guy that opened up the original LA Boxing, came back and rebought the Costa Mesa one from Kerry and Mike and Jeff and these guys. And so now they were all three individually owned. And then they all kind of went a different direction.